I want world peace, but I also want my Diet Coke with lime. Is Coca-Cola listening to me? We'll find out as New Day starts right now.
It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studio at King 5 in downtown Seattle, this is New Day Northwest.
Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm Susie Wiley filling in for Kelly today. We're nearing the end of the week, and I think people around here are feeling a little spicy, which can only mean one thing. It's time for New Day Hot Topics. On today's panel, I have your last meal podcaster, Rachel Bell, along with our executive producer, Joseph. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this is going to be fun. Okay. We kick off Hot Topics with an extremely important and serious issue.
Very.
Well, we are from headlines.
Journalists.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. So Diet Coke. I call it mother's milk.
Oh God, it's a religion for people.
Not me.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my favorite soft drink
Wow,
that I like
yeah.
to order,
Milk.
and I love it with limes. If I'm at home, I want it with fresh limes.
Okay.
So now Diet Coke is about to relaunch a new drink with lime already in it. They did it at one point and it disappeared, and now it's back.
Well, I haven't even had Diet Coke. I couldn't even tell you. I don't even remember what it tastes like. I know.
haven't
So I'm gonna
had
try it
one.
plain first.
I haven't had one in probably 20 years, and I have a taste muscle memory. I know what it tastes like in my mouth and my
This is a
brain.
moment, people.
Okay. Yeah. I taste the aspartame.
Mother, it tastes like chemicals to me, honestly.
Oh, stop
I'm
it.
sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's an insult.
So now take a fresh lime and give
But
it a
maybe
little
that'll
squeeze,
help cut
just
it
a little bit.
you know?
yeah.
Cut it. Oh.
So Susie, I've
Chances.
sat next to you at King 5 for 10 years, and I know you love Diet Coke, but I didn't realize
Just a little.
Oh, just okay.
you
I was
liked
gonna
it with the lime until we went to Din Tai Fung last week.
Right, fresh lime.
Somehow I missed that about you.
And I love that Diet Coke
Okay.
is bringing it better.
Much better.
See?
That's good.
that
That's
is
good.
nice.
It's the fresh.
Yeah.
So, will you buy this new product, or do you prefer to put your own fresh lime?
My own fresh
Yeah.
lime.
Yeah.
I'm bougie like that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the other one isn't going to have this same flavor. It's going to have like a
Same
little
bite.
bit of a.
Yeah.
There's a little chemical, but it's
Chemical-y,
the
yeah.
aspartame that
There's a lot of Diet Coke lovers out there, and it is like religion to them, I feel
it
like.
is.
I can't think of another soda that people are as devoted to
Yeah.
in such hordes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
Have you ever
even
been
get
to
me-
like a convention? Like, do you guys know each other? Or
Do you think there's a Comic-Con for Diet
connected.
Coke?
I bet there's like a hotel
Yeah.
in the shape of a can of Diet Coke.
I mean,
that
you
can
are
all
all in.
go.
I bought you like
Yeah.
Diet Coke
Yes,
sauce
I'm
ones
all
or
in,
something.
and
I mean, like, what?
I think if I went to the World of Coke in Georgia, I would cry. I've heard it's very impactful.
A little Diet Coke tear would come out, and you'd go, yeah.
It's very
I think we need to get that sponsored and send you there.
Sorry, just taking a moment.
It's emotional.
All right. Thank you, Coca-Cola, for understanding
For all
that. Okay. Mariners fever is high right now.
Indeed.
We're having some early 2000 nostalgia.
For sure,
Yep,
yeah.
as we're in the playoffs. This
Yeah,
is
it's
the
so exciting.
postseason, and it's so exciting. Okay. We have a picture that I kind of want
Well, we got some pictures from the the nostalgic time.
Yeah.
Like, look at Safeco Field back then. It was like brand new back
Yep.
then.
Look
yeah,
at
baby.
that.
Look at sweeping on First Ave there.
Yeah, this is all back in the 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
So 2001 was the first time that we
Unleash the mojo.
Yeah, and we were in the playoff, and we were in the AL West champions. Is that
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be kind of fun to go through what was happening in that
Yeah.
time period,
Yeah.
if that's all right.
It
so
is.
we do need to acknowledge that
back.
2001, the
Yeah.
biggest thing that happened was, of course, 9/11.
Yeah, sad time, for
but
sure.
the world continued on. But just want to tell you, the iPod. It was Apple released the first iPod in 2001.
Really? Whoa, that
Yeah.
seems like early.
The portable music device Wikipedia started.
I was barely
Okay.
on the internet in 2001. Honestly,
Same.
barely.
Same. Okay. The best movie was Gladiator.
Whoa,
never saw
that's
it.
a time warp. Okay.
You haven't seen it?
I
okay.
haven't. Is it
How
too
about-
late?
No, it is not. There's also
out now.
Gladiator 2.
Yeah. You can see both.
The number one song of 2001. Any guesses?
Okay. Wait.
Nelly.
Wait, was it Who Let the Dogs Out?
No.
Nelly.
It was Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse.
Oh, that's a great song.
I don't know if I know that song.
I sang it all the way into work.
Oh, I bet
How
you
does
do.
it go?
I can't sing.
Hanging by a moment here with you.
Oh, yes.
Letting
okay.
go is all I. Okay.
You did karaoke right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
right there. Okay. Not great. I don't know if they had anything after that, but also Fallen by Alicia Keys.
Oh, love.
that
All
was
for You with
huge.
Janet
Yeah.
Jackson, and Drops of Jupiter.
Oh, yeah,
Train.
yeah. The best soy latte that you ever had. Like, weirdest lyric.
That was even better than
Weirdest lyric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Awesome. Well, also it was
Tell
the
me. Sorry.
it was also the end of Napster.
Oh, sad.
Oh, wow, I
Well,
didn't
not
know it
sad,
went that-
because that was
well,
illegal, but, you know.
And the iPod replaced.
Yeah, I mean, okay, all
I'm
right.
having a lot of nostalgia for that.
Yeah,
time.
and in fact, I think we actually have a moment of nostalgia for you, right?
It was also the year I turned 21.
Look at that Mariners, little Mariners fan.
Look at you.
Look at you.
the teeth.
Did you ever go to a
Wow.
game?
Oh, yeah, I went to the Kingdom. I went to Safeco Field when I was little. Yeah, for sure.
Cute.
Well, it's pretty exciting, and next Mariners game is Saturday, and then right after that is the Seahawks
M's.
home game.
It's going to be a busy day in Soto.
It's going to be
It's gonna
crazy.
be a sportsy day.
Yeah, and you're very into that.
I love these days
You love
because
sports.
I'll tell you, I shouldn't reveal my secrets, but
Yeah.
on days like that, that's when you go to Din Tai Fung because there's no line. And when you go to
yes.
U Village and you
Yeah.
can shop like you're alone, it's your own mall. Like
that's such a
go
great
do
idea.
things that you can't do on sports
Yeah.
days if you're not a sports
Your dream
person.
of going to Costco by yourself.
That's the day.
That is the day.
Yeah.
the day.
I also try to go to Trader Joe's when there's a Husky game on, because I figure a lot of people are at home then, and
yeah.
then Trader Joe's on a
Strategize.
Saturday especially is crazy.
It is
Are you
bonkers, yeah.
gonna stay out of the area?
I'm going to Spokane this weekend, so yeah, I am
you'll
going
be
far away.
Way
yeah.
out. Well, it is exciting because it feels electric downtown and,
Yeah.
and all around because people are super excited about this. Even if you're, look at our tower cam, even if it's going to be real busy soon because there's a scrimmage.
I can just tell you, like, when I'm trying to walk home to the train, it's
Yeah.
like hordes of people coming at me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to make it.
Well, it's nice because the team has been kind of a never-ending underdog for
Yes,
so long,
for
and
long.
so the fact that this happens, it's nice to have that energy in the city. Just
Definitely.
like when the
Yeah.
Seahawks were in the Super Bowl a couple
Yeah.
times.
Definitely.
Again, I'm not a sports person, but you know, I'm not going to yuck your yum. If there's going to
Yeah.
be excitement in Seattle,
Yeah.
like let's do
Yeah,
it.
we're all for it.
Yeah,
Totally.
we can use more
Yeah.
of that charisma.
Anything that makes you feel proud of the city that you're living
Totally.
in or
Yeah.
around, I think
Absolutely.
is fantastic.
Same.
Something that's not so fun is that the U.S. government is shut down right now,
Oh.
impacting a lot of people. Feel bad
Yes.
about that. I'm going to fly today, and I'm a little nervous about
How that's going to all go.
those impacts.
Yeah.
I actually got my first email. I sent NASA a note asking
Request.
for a request to have an astronaut on, and I got immediately the "we are shut down."
Oh no.
We'll continue to try for
Yeah.
that astronaut later.
Yes,
but
yes.
It's also hard for doing outdoor things because that's my big thing is
Absolutely.
hiking, and some of the parks get shut down. So yeah, it affects a lot of people.
Yep.
Or the services at the parks are
Exactly,
yeah.
which are already like really struggling right
Yeah,
now anyway.
not great.
Hope we can get that figured out soon.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about something that's Erewhon. It is the bougie grocery stores, mostly in
Southern
LA, right?
California. Yep.
And they've stirred some excitement on social media this week, making some believe that they were opening a shop here, and they are
Some people
not.
thought for a second, because they posted a carousel post on Instagram of a bunch of cities, and we were like, oh, does that mean they're opening here? But no, they're just going to be shipping stuff, which is still exciting.
Here's my question though, because of the way that I saw it posted, can you just order anything? Because I got the impression they're going to be making like a mystery box that you could order,
It-
and
I
you
mean-
just get
That
this
would be
box.
smart.
That would be fun.
Okay, Erewhon.
How much will it cost, though?
Let's
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk. Erewhon is very expensive. Sometimes I've only been in there twice, and I would go in and stand there and think, "Are we this stupid?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah,
is
give me some
expensive. We're going to
prices.
talk about the smoothies because you have an
Did
experience
I
with that.
pay $25 for one?
Yes, you
I,
did.
Turns out I
Yes.
did.
And the smoothies are named after celebrities.
Some of them are,
Some of
yeah.
them are. And I've noticed that it depends on where they are in the hierarchy. That particular time, they're a little bit more. Maybe they're discounted when you're. when you're not as-
So if you
yeah.
lose your stardom, you're
Yeah.
cheaper. You're a
like
cheaper
the Hailey
smoothie.
Bieber smoothie is not as expensive right now. It's about $2 less than one of the
she used to be,
Kardashian ones.
That's the one I want to try because that's the one I've heard the most
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Some other prices. There's hyper oxygenated water. So because you just oxygenated isn't
You
enough.
need that to
Yeah, you
live.
need to
What-
breathe through water.
Yep.
Rotisserie chicken, $22.50.
Okay.
That
All right.
seems like a lot.
For
Yeah.
perspective,
Yeah.
it's $4.99 at Costco
was
and
gonna
$11.99 at Whole Foods.
Remember
Yeah.
like the $19 strawberry?
Yes.
Just the one.
So
Well, that's like in Japan.
Yeah.
They do that,
Yeah.
and it's wrapped, in its own special
little
blanket that
moment.
was knit by nuns in
Yeah.
Morocco. Yes.
Sure.
would you give it a try? Would you do the shipping and?
Probably not. I'm very food curious. Obviously,
Yes.
that's my whole career,
Yes.
but also I'm a little frugal.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
What
you know
about
what?
you?
It's different if it's something homemade. Like in
Yes.
town, I will spend a lot of money going out to dinner
Special.
and supporting
Yes.
local businesses, and I want to try every new pizza place. But if it's going to be a box full of products, then I'm not as excited
Yeah.
to spend a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Maybe Camel's milk because they also have that.
Oh, what if
Why?
it was like a camel's
Little
milk
camels
and
been
like
milked.
a gourmet camel cigarettes together, like a
Oh,
camel pack?
well,
They could send it on
A
Wednesday
camel
for Hump
pack.
Day.
I like that. What about you? Are you going to try it?
Maybe we order one and then unbox it on the show and see what's
And
in it.
invite me that day.
Yeah, we'll we'll invite you back.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that
'Cause
idea.
I have to say, when I went and I did spend 20
Yes.
whatever on the whatever.
You did. So you had that smoothie.
Other than like the wild amounts of people in that tiny little store in Santa Monica,
Yeah.
it was a lovely
Yeah.
experience. So like everything was beautiful, and you just felt like
Yeah.
you're like in the Apple store for food. I don't know.
Yeah, you said it was very peaceful and
Was
calm.
the smooth? How good was this smoothie? Was it 25 good?
I thought it was delicious, and the
Okay.
texture was very different. I don't know if it was 25 good, but the novelty of it all, it was entertaining and
And you had the Sabrina
texture.
Carpenter
I had the
smoothie,
Sabrina,
we should say,
yes.
which was at the higher
price point.
price point.
Perhaps.
I heard
Because
they
she's
blend
very
a little bit
popular.
of her hair into every
Oh,
smoothie.
well, maybe that's what made it so
That's the
tasty.
texture.
You did say that there was like some good
It was very
texture.
smooth,
Yeah.
much like her hair.
All right. Well,
I think
On
we
that
figured
note-
it out.
Yikes, that's it. There you
Everyone,
go.
we're coming for you.
Rachel and producer Joseph are sticking around for more Diet Coke and Hot Topics later in the show, including the fervor for Taylor Swift's new album dropping tonight. Woo! And you won't want to miss that. Also, later in the show, we're heading into the kitchen in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. The owner and founder of Seattle restaurant Don Lucho's is here to cook up a Peruvian dish everyone needs to know about. But up next, I get some expert advice from the designers at Lucky Home in Issaquah, how to bring fall decor into your home, mixing it in with whatever you already have. We'll be right back. As you can see from our New Day set, we're leaning all the way in for the fall season. Our friends over at Lucky Home did a great job with our decor, and I got to visit the store in Issaquah's Gilman Village recently, and owner Denise Jensen showed me how to bring fall into your house. Okay, well, you can tell fall has arrived at Lucky Home.
Definitely
It's
has.
so beautiful here. And today, Denise, you're going to talk to us about how do we put our room together, how do we pull a fall room together,
Absolutely.
especially with what we have,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
to
how do we
blend
start?
in with what you have? Well, as you can see, we pulled this home together and we
Yep.
started with this sofa. It's
beautiful.
So neutral color, it's going to go with any colors year round, whatever
Any
you want to
season,
do.
okay.
It's kind of, I would say, kind of a warm taupe, matches everything.
Yeah.
So what we did to start with
Yeah.
dressing the couch
Okay.
is with the pillows. And we decided greens are really big this year, have been spring, fall, classic will continue to be in. So we actually pulled a couple different styles of green, even different little bit of colors and pattern, and then picked one that's got all those fall colors in to pull it together.
So then you just really added this one for the new pillow for fall.
Yep.
But you didn't have to buy all these
Yeah,
as
so
well.
just as easy to throw your yellows on, your light pastels, but this really says fall.
Says fall. It's got
Says
all
fall.
those
Yep.
tones in it. And I will say, you have a lot of pillows here. I love you.
Do we ever? So there's no lack of pillows.
There's
to
no
choose from.
shortage of
Yeah,
pillows.
Yeah.
Okay, pillows. And one thing I love that you say is when you're pulling a room together, you want to invest in personality. What do you mean, especially in this instance?
Well, in this room, how we decided to invest in personality is these really beautiful leather chairs.
These are actually
I mean,
really nice.
they are unbelievable. Really comfortable, good size for anyone to sit on. Pulls in that green again, and once again, it's not a risky investment because green is a classic color that
So-
you can stick with forever. So
Right.
once again, you can use
Another
it for
season.
spring, bring in your lighter colors.
Okay.
Always going to be in style, but boy, does it add personality.
It,
to a room.
it really does, because it's not, you wouldn't call it a basic, but also what you were saying is
It's
on
on
trend.
trend. Yeah, it's on trend. You've gone with a great color
Okay.
that makes your pop, but it's a classic color.
And when you talk about chairs, you have another chair that I love over here, and it's a deep color, and I would say it's almost a fall color, but you can change that look easily.
Exactly, and it's more of a little bit of a chenille too, which is a little heavier fabric. But once again, you can put light colors on it. You can
Like
go
you've
with your
done,
dark,
okay.
and you get that definition of light and dark in any room, and you can use them all year round.
Okay.
Great swivel chair.
Love that. Okay, let's talk about art. Because we have this beautiful piece right here that does, to me, say fall with all the green colors.
Well, I have to tell you, I have this piece of art in my home.
You do?
I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the framing, where it's got traditional framing, yet it's got
The
more of a
modern,
modern, contemporary print, a little more abstract. But out of this, you can decide, let's pull our rich greens and do something beautiful for fall. Look at the limey greens in there. Look at the peach tones and the lavenders. Any time of year. Some people don't always change their art very
Right.
often too. So you want to look at a piece of art and think, okay, how is this going to go
Right.
for all seasons?
And so
And
for
can we make it
fall-
look different
right.
at any season that
So
we have
for
it?
fall, you've pulled out these dark greens.
dark
here.
greens and our gold.
The gold, but then springtime you're going to change this around, maybe go with something lighter like the peach or the yellows.
Yep, and,
okay.
and mix in maybe some of that limey green.
Okay. What else do you need to think about when it comes to art and decorating for fall?
Once again, you can go with some great basic pieces. Like this is a dark green with your natural. That's going to go any time of year. Maybe you brought in your rusts and your plants and things to emphasize the fall colors. But once again, those can be changed out for spring greens, succulents, anything like that.
It's all about what we can change out and keep using these pieces. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about are the tablescapes, because this is one of the easiest ways to bring in fall, you were saying, right?
Absolutely. This happens to be a crazy cool.
This is a very cool
definitely
bowl.
a piece that can become the center of attention.
And it's all one carved piece. It's
Yeah, we
beautiful.
call them root bowls. They're from Indonesia.
Okay.
All real wood carved out. But what we did for fall was we just layered all sorts of greens, meaning your rusts and your green balls, and actually stuck in a little bit of, little berries.
Okay,
And
getting
I think
ready
there
for
might even be a
another
pumpkin
season.
or two slipped in there.
Okay.
And then we topped it off with succulents, which is what you can use year round. A lot of these greens you can use anytime year round, but boy, does that make a statement.
Yeah, and it feels a little bit more modern too when you're doing this.
Absolutely.
And you were telling me that people come in for these bowls and they put in all sorts of things.
Yeah, we only carry these a couple times a year, and we only can get them, I guess, a couple times a year, and they go pretty quick, and people use them for all sorts of things. We pull this out and do ornaments and Christmas balls and all sorts of things. I just had a woman this morning buying a bowl, and she was putting she's crazy about rocks, and she has all different crazy kinds of rocks. And it was a lower one, and she said, I'm buying it, and I'm going to showcase my rocks in that.
Well, it's beautiful, and I think we can say that this room says fall.
It definitely
You've
says
taught us
fall.
how we can make it say any season, actually. So.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
And that store is brimming with fall decor. Whether you need help planning a tablescape or just adding a few new items to a side table, they've got you covered. Well, baseball frenzy is taking over the PNW as the Mariners begin their postseason play on Saturday, and we get a sneak peek on what the team has planned for the fans right after this. The city is electric, and we are plugged in and feeling fine as we get ready to cheer on the Mariners this Saturday as they take on well, we don't know who they're playing, but it's still exciting. And here to get us even more hyped is Gregg Greene, Mariners Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications. Hi, Greg.
Good morning. Great to see you.
Oh,
You feel the electricity?
I can feel it
Yeah.
in this city. Even, I live in Bellevue. You go to the grocery store, everybody's representing. There's
You
just
guys
this
drive
feeling.
down here to Soto. You can feel it when you get down
I was
here.
going to say, when you walked in, did you feel it? Because you just walked right across the street.
Yeah. We're feeling it at the ballpark. We're feeling it throughout the city, throughout the region. Fans are pumped up. It's going to be a great October.
It's going to be fun. And you say we'll know pretty soon, a couple hours.
We
then.
will know in a few hours. First pitch between the Guardians and the Tigers around 12 o'clock noon. And after that game, we'll know who's coming to Seattle on Saturday for Game 1.
And that's the key, who's coming here.
Yeah, they're coming here.
All right. Well, the Mariners did something pretty great with the scrimmages yesterday, and they'll happen again today. What did they do for the players?
So the players really, they're getting ready. They're staying warm. We got the week off, but they want to stay fresh and sharp for Saturday. So they held an inter-squad scrimmage yesterday
fun.
and another one today, and the fans turned out. Today's is actually sold out. We have 5,000 fans coming to the ballpark, and they're bringing the energy, they're bringing the excitement, they're bringing the noise, kind of make it feel like a game situation, so the guys can be ready for Saturday's game.
What a great idea. What other opportunities are there for fans to show their excitement ahead of the game?
Tomorrow and throughout this run, throughout October, we hope it goes to November, right up till the World Series Championship and the parade. Wear your Mariners gear throughout the city, show the support. Tomorrow's a Mariners Friday, Mariners Monday when the team's off. Wear your Mariners gear and come out to the ballpark. If you got the tickets, bring the noise. We need the energy. The team really feeds off our fans. I mean, we had an incredible record, the best record in baseball after the All-Star break, and that was a credit to not only the team, but the Mariners fans showing up and showing out.
Sleep in your Mariners gear.
Yes.
Okay, well, tickets are sold out to the game, but there's always merch to show fan loyalty, and I know you love merch.
I love merch.
This
Everybody
is your area of
you
expertise.
Gotta rock the gear,
okay,
yes.
what's new and that you're excited about?
Well, you gotta say, we won our first division championship here. Sorry to knock it over.
No worries.
Since 2001, so you got to get an AL West champs cap.
Nice.
And then we got a few things that the team will be wearing, getting ready for
It's like a little fashion
the,
show.
stretch
Okay.
out here, you got the built
Nice.
for fall, right? Yep, absolutely.
And
Gotta have
anyone
one.
can stop by the stores and get these.
Mariners team store down
Okay.
here at
I love
T-Mobile
this
Park,
one.
and then you can also go downtown, down there by Westlake, and get more.
That's
AOS
terrific.
Championship. This quarter zip's really nice.
Oh, I like that.
Lots
With
of great new
pockets.
things in the store. Check that out.
So fun. Anything new for the fans at the ballpark?
Yes, fans coming out to the ballpark this weekend and throughout October. We got some new tastes. We got a big new tasty pretzel, a new sundae. We got crab legs and
excited.
caviar. There's all kinds of new things to try at the ballpark. There's a new value pack for $12 where you can get a hot dog, soda, and a red rope. So lots of great opportunities to come taste T-Mobile Park and then lock into your seat for the games.
So exciting. Okay, obviously we open at home on Saturday and Sunday, but do you have anything planned for the fans while they're on the road?
Yeah, so the team will go on the road for Game 3 on Tuesday, and if necessary, we'll be on the road for Game 4 on Wednesday. Fans are invited to come back out to T-Mobile Park.
Okay.
We're going to open up the park. Tickets are $15 for fans. Just $10 for season ticket members. You can go to mariners.com/watch party. We will be showing it on the biggest screen in the West Coast, Mariners
fun is
Vision. Yes,
that? Oh,
you'll
my
have a
goodness.
chance to watch the game, cheer it on. We did this back in 22 when we played the Blue Jays. We won both games. Fans went nuts. It was a great energy. So come on out, mariners.com/watch party.
We were talking earlier about 2001. Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely. How can you forget? It was so exciting, and we didn't quite. We got to the
Right.
ALCS, didn't quite get over the hump, and you could just feel it this year. There's a different energy with this team, and it's going to be an exciting October.
Can I mention too your first job with the Mariners?
Sure, why not?
What was that?
I started in 1995, also a good year for the Seattle Mariners. My first job with the Seattle Mariners was a DJ. I was playing music at the Kingdom. That's how I got my start.
And then you got to start picking merch,
Now I'm
which we love.
I'm showing merchandise on your station here.
Oh,
so,
I love
yeah.
it. So do you have your outfit ready to go? It's like the first day of school for that game on Saturday. You got it laid out?
Starting to lay out a
What are
few
you gonna
different
wear?
choices. I think we'll suit up, but we'll have the Mariners gear. We'll have a pin. We'll be ready to go. We'll be looking sharp for.
What are you hearing as you walk around the city?
It's just a lot of excitement. The fans are pumped up. They believe in this team. The team believes in the fans, and I think with their support, with this squad that we got, I think it's going to be a really special October.
Yeah, I love that feeling. I got a little bit of chills when you said I believe
You know
they believe
how
in
it
us.
ends, right? It ends with the parade downtown. That's what
it.
that's what we're
That's it.
going for. Let's go.
Yeah, I love that. All right, thanks, Greg. And as
Thank
he
you.
mentioned, you can stay up on all the latest postseason opportunities by signing up for Mariners Mail or text Mariners to 24247 to get those regular updates sent to your phone. All right, still ahead, an iconic Peruvian dish that's not ceviche. We get a taste of Don Lucho's menu and hear about a big milestone for the popular Seattle restaurant.
It's a new day.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and in honor of this month-long celebration, we're highlighting a local restaurant that's popular among Seattle ceviche and pisco sour lovers alike. Joining me now is Carlo Chalisea. Did I say that right?
Yeah, thank you.
Founder and owner of Don Lucho's. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, it's great to have you here. Okay,
Absolutely.
what are we making?
So right now we're going to show how to make a lomo saltado, which is one of the most traditional
Lomo
Peruvian dishes.
saltado?
Lomo saltado.
Okay,
And it's
you
called
say it better.
saltado because it means it jumps in the dish. So typically this is
okay.
actually done in a wok with flames and fire, and it's a very exciting
Oh,
dish
it
to see
sounds
when
exciting.
Yeah, so I started with a food cart. So I would do this like in front of people. Now it's in the back of the house because it's a restaurant.
And no
so
one can see it. Well,
nobody can really see
okay,
it.
I'm excited. Even though there won't be, I hope there won't be flames.
No,
and fire.
no, yeah, hopefully
That's okay.
not.
Okay, so what do we start with? The meat?
So yeah, we have the meat. We
Okay.
have a nice cut of beef here. We like using flat meat. So we're gonna do some cuts here that are gonna be for our dish,
Okay.
which we have right up front. So we're gonna go ahead and take some slices at this.
And so what kind of cuts do you think you could use, you were saying?
People
The flat
use
steaks?
different type of cuts, but I recommend like nice soft meat.
Okay.
Because typically the right way to eat a lomo saltado would be medium rare. So you don't want
Okay.
anything tough.
Okay.
So yeah. So we're gonna take a slice at this, and then we marinate it right before going into the wok usually, but now we have a pan.
And what are you going to marinate that in?
So we're just gonna throw a little bit of garlic, a little bit of salt with some secret seasoning that we have. And so now we have our cuts here.
Okay.
What we're gonna throw this in a bowl.
Oh, to do the marinade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll do this. Throw a little bit of salt on it. A little bit of our secret stuff. And there, a little bit of.
Which I will find later and send to a DNA lab and analyze it.
Perfect.
And then what's that? Is that like
a little bit of garlic in
okay.
there? Yeah.
Ooh, I like
So
that.
we
It's a
just move that
paste.
around. Yeah, a little garlic paste in there. So we want to make sure that we move it around so all the meat, receives a little bit.
And you do
of
that right
everything we
before.
do.
It doesn't need to
Right,
marinate.
we do it right
Okay.
before. Yeah, no, we do it right before, and then it goes right into the pan. So we have our meat ready here. We're gonna let that rest here for a second.
And we're gonna
And then we're gonna
vegetables.
show how to properly do what would be.
Okay. I'm not going to help with this part at all.
Yeah, so let's see, what did I do with my, here it is.
What are you looking for? Oh,
We want to use
special-
a clean surface.
Okay. Here, I'll take this over here.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, you chop.
All right, so we want to get rid of the heart of the onion.
Is this a dish that you grew up eating?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Okay.
every Peruvian has lomo saltado. You get excited when your mom does it at home.
Oh, so
definitely.
this means a lot to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we want to always make sure we get rid of the heart, and then we're gonna take some slices of the onion here, and that's about a right amount of onions.
Okay, and then we're going to
Set.
actually put these in with the meat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you want to put the meat in first always, because if you put the vegetables in before, you're gonna end up with some mushy vegetables and.
Should I start the meat?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
go ahead
can I
and
do
start
that?
putting it in there.
Is this okay? This is just some oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna want to seal the meat. So you're gonna want to. Yeah, we're gonna
Ooh,
leave it
that's
there
going to cook
for a
quickly.
little bit.
Oh, I shouldn't turn it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Just let
leave
it
it there
sit?
for
Okay.
a little bit, and
It's
then
going to kind of sear.
yeah. So we want to seal it up with all the seasoning that we have going into it.
Oh, you can smell it.
Yeah.
So you have to go ahead and talk, and I'll give
sure.
you that.
So what
And he
we
doesn't
do
want
is-
me to have that control.
And then this is a dish that's also like a fusion with Chinese food. Back in late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a big migration of Chinese population due to the gold rush that Peru was experiencing.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so then like the two cultures ended up combining, and now you have dishes like
Well, you
lomo
mentioned the
saltado.
wok, so that actually makes sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so now it's time
now
to
at this
drop
point,
the
kind of like
vegetables?
where it's at, I'm going to throw first my onions in, because tomatoes will get really, with the heat, they start disintegrating a little bit. So
Okay, so
I'll throw a little
the
bit of-
onion first.
yeah, the onion
Okay.
first. I want to throw a little bit of white wine in here.
Ooh.
Bring it
I'm going to
down a
stand
bit.
right here.
Yeah.
And you started the first Peruvian food truck here in Seattle.
So
How
it's
did you get started
It's
in it?
actually a food cart.
Food cart?
Food cart. Then I moved along to an actual food truck.
Truck?
2 food trucks, and then 6 years into the venture, decided to open a restaurant. So
Don Lucho's.
that happened in 2019, and then I got shut down because of the pandemic, right? But we ended up doing our food truck idea behind it, so we kept it going, and we were already used to doing that type of stuff. So here, I have
Okay, what is
the
this?
secret sauce.
Oh.
But no, it has
What's
a
the
little bit
other
of soy
secret
sauce
sauce?
and
Okay.
some other stuff in it.
Okay, which still
So
goes back to that
usually-
Chinese.
Exactly.
influence.
This would be in flames
Okay,
right now.
all right.
You know? So unfortunately, we don't have that. But
That's okay. It smells delicious. That soy is starting to caramelize.
we don't want it to caramelize
no,
too much.
it smells
so
delicious.
at this point, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna serve ourselves some rice here,
Okay.
so we can do our plating. There we go. And Peru has a lot of potatoes. Believe it or not, potatoes come from Peru, and there's over 3,000 different types of potatoes. So
steak and fries.
Steak
this
and
is
fries,
a perfect day for me.
all right. So now we're gonna go ahead and put this on the plate. See if we can put it
You're
here
going
for
to
the
plate
camera.
that up for me, and I'm going to try that one. You've got your anniversary coming up too. Must
It
feel
is.
pretty good. 6
Yeah,
years
absolutely. It's been 6 years since we opened up the brick and mortar, and we're gonna have a special celebration for it. So that's gonna be October 16th. So make sure you keep an eye on our social media. We will be announcing it, and probably have some live music, some special dishes for it.
I want to try this, and pisco sours are very important
Absolutely.
both to Peru, Pisco itself,
Lunch is
but
served.
also where you are. Would you want to make one real quick?
Sure.
And
Let's
tell me a little
take
bit
care of
about
that.
it?
Yeah.
I'm going to.
So Pisco Sour is
Try
going to
this.
be
Go
a
for
very traditional drink you'll be able to find in Peru. And
I'm starting with the fry.
Pisco is, some call it a white brandy, and it's made out of grapes.
Out of
This
grapes?
one
I
in
heard you say
particular is quebranta grape. So it's always good to pair a good lomo saltado or a ceviche that we have up front over there with some Pisco Sour. And that reminds me that today we are starting a new promotion at Don Lucho's where it's Pisco and Ceviche Thursdays.
Okay.
So we have the cheapest and best Pisco Sour in town, $10. And then we have all our ceviches are going to be priced at $20.
I only need
And-
this, though.
All right, perfect. You can have Pisco
This
Sour with that.
is
Doesn't have to
fantastic.
come with a pair. You can have the Pisco Sour with the Lomo Saltado all day. So we have a little bit of simple syrup here. We have the Pisco that just went in.
Right.
And I like doing a ratio of 2-2-2-1. Then
I'm
we
just
have
gonna
some
keep
lime
eating.
juice.
The meat is so tender.
It's very important to use a good cut of meat. So never shy
So
away
flavorful.
of spending an extra buck on a nice cut so it can be like that.
It's delicious.
Instead of like chewy, you know?
Okay, so is that citrus?
So this is going to be the egg whites right here. So,
Which makes the sour, right?
well, the sour is going to be the lime that I just put in. And then the egg white is going to be that little foam that comes up on top.
Okay.
You know? So, okay, so now we have our whole mix here.
And I'm not a drinker, but we have someone standing by, Derek.
He's ready to go.
He's
huh?
ready to go. There's a sacrifice happening over here. And he's going to pop in and try this for
Well,
us.
this will be in honor of the Mariners that are happening this
Oh, I
this
love
weekend.
it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll start. We want to make sure we.
Oh, look at that. And you can see
Then
that's
you
the
can
egg
see
whites.
At
Yeah.
the end, you want to do a little
Yep.
shake so you can get all the foam out, and that'll give you a nice little foamy top.
Thank you,
Look
Chef.
at
I'm
that.
going to bring Derek in, and he's going to try this.
Derek, he's the chosen
Okay.
one, huh?
Yeah.
A little bitters
luckily.
on top.
Nice. All right.
It smells really good already.
All right. First Pisco Sour?
No,
No.
I love it. How's it?
it's delicious.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you,
great job.
Chef. And thank you for
Absolutely.
this. I'm keeping this one. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time of year again. You can now weigh in on all your faves across the region. We'll tell you how and what you can win if you vote when I'm joined by Evening St. Brian next. It's time to vote in the 33rd annual Best of Western Washington Viewers Poll. You can vote for all your favorites right now. Just go to king5.com/best or scan that QR code. And here to tell us about what's different this year is Evening St. Brian. Hey,
Susie,
welcome.
it's so nice to be here, and I love the new
The
set.
new decor. I know
Yeah.
you're picking up the glass pumpkin. Is that a
Yeah,
favorite?
I do like this. How much do you think this is worth? What's the price on this?
$16.50.
No, $18.95.
Okay, all right. It's a deal. I love it. Okay. All right. Evening has been doing this for a long time.
Yes, 33 years, longer than I've been alive, Susie, which I know is hard to believe. And
is
we
hard to
love doing
believe.
this. We're like it's like we're Santa Claus, and we are bearing gifts that really help small businesses. And it's one of the most rewarding times of the year for us.
I've been sitting next to you all for 15 years, and it is fun. You guys have a good time, and I love to see it. Okay, there's some new categories this year. Let's talk about them. Best Plant Store.
Yes, best plant store. Well, you know, we have people on our staff and even on your staff
Yeah.
who come up with some ideas, and we think Derek probably came up with best
This one,
plant
he
store.
likes a plant.
Sounds like something
Yeah.
that he would. We're going to bring back best high school band. Can you imagine the high school band in the plant store?
Ooh,
Nice. And then we are doing
it's a little loud.
non-alcoholic cocktails.
Okay.
So that's a
Was
new
that
one.
your idea?
Nope. And imagine the owner of the plant store after the band has come in.
Will not want the
No,
non-alcoholic.
he'll want something a little bit stronger. But mocktails are very big, and
Yeah.
we want to acknowledge
They
that.
are that. And you do get some of your ideas from the viewers themselves, right?
We get them from the viewers and from the staff, and sometimes some of you folks at New Day throw
All right.
out ideas.
I love that. Okay, other categories that might not be new, but that are people still like. Best new hotel.
Right, best new hotel, best food truck. These are kind of the standbys,
Okay.
Susie. But we've also we're trying to stay up with the times, so we also have best new influencer, things like that.
Oh.
So we're up and coming. We know what doing.
Best new influencer.
Half the time.
That is untrue. Half the time. Best drive-through coffee, best neighborhood.
Yeah, all this stuff. These are perennials.
Best local drag queen, we should say.
That's
a
new.
great one.
Yeah.
That's a new one. And best made in Washington product.
Yeah.
Is it always clam chowder?
No, it is not always clam chowder.
Oh.
I don't know what it was last year, but it's not always clam chowder.
Okay, you do all this work, but then you get to go out and tell people they've won. How does that feel?
Well, that feels terrific. You know, we go out, a lot of the time we try to surprise them. So we'll walk out or walk into like the shop and we'll sort of case the place and act very uninterested.
Okay.
We'll look at the donuts, we'll be like, but then all of a sudden, boom, we stand up on the table and we make this huge announcement and everybody is crying, grown men, tears in their eyes, are hugging me like a long lost brother. And it really is a big deal. And this is where the rewarding part comes in because we are making a difference on that particular day.
Absolutely. And I've been in so many small businesses, especially in restaurants, where you see the plaque.
Oh, yeah.
And even though I'm not part of the evening team, I have that sense of pride because I sit next to you. I'm part of King 5, but I look at that plaque and I go, right on, they won.
It's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing for them to win, yeah.
Any best reactions you've ever got?
Well, I've told you about the tears. Susie, you want something more than grown men hugging me with tears in their eyes?
Want something viral?
I think it's always a happy reaction.
Yeah.
I am not at the moment coming up with one great
Especially
one.
since you were casing the place.
Yeah.
Okay, there's always a grand prize. What can people win this year?
Oh yeah, and I want to go to the cards because I need to get this absolutely right.
Go for it.
So there are 45 categories. I think you're probably going to say that later. But each vote enters you to win a luxurious Napa Valley wine country wellness getaway. And it's worth $7,000. It's from Aegis Living. Look at that wine.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
And is it right that you go with them or no?
I don't know that I get to go with them. I'm going to have to ask some of our, we'll ask our boss. I think he'll probably say yes.
That's a terrific prize and valued at $7,000.
I know.
Out of your own pocket, which is a very kind. Thank you, Saint.
You are welcome.
All right, 45 categories means 45 chances to win. Go to king5.com/best to vote now in the best of Western Washington. And when we come back, a reminder for you Kraken hockey fans, plus more hot topics with some fall takes. Stay with us.
It's a new day.
It's almost time for hockey in Seattle. The Kraken hosts the Anaheim Ducks next Thursday at 7 p.m. at Climate Pledge Arena. And to get you ready, this Saturday is the season premiere of Kraken Home Ice. Our King 5 sports team introduces us to the newest members of the Deep, including head coach Lane Lambert.
The Seattle sports scene is something else. You know, been to a Mariners game, been to a Seahawks game. Great sports scene, great fans of every sport in this town, which is really nice to see.
It's pretty exciting, especially when they bang on the ice. All that and more on Kraken Home Ice Saturday night at 10:30 on Kong. All right, we're back now with one more round of hot topics before we say goodbye this morning, and another excuse to drink Diet Coke, because I know that's what you've both been wanting.
Yes, obviously.
All right, Rachel Bell and producer Joseph are back with me now. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm just trying to get you guys to
I know.
Yummy.
Fine. We'll drink the Diet Coke Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. All right, well, we're heading into the lunch hour. Salt and Straw is launching a new collaboration with Taco Bell.
This is my hottest news of the week.
Oh.
I am thrilled about this.
Wow.
Well, you're the foodie in the crowd. How do you feel about it?
I feel
like
great, Susie. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be this kind of fancy gourmet salt and straw version of the Choco Taco, which I don't think you can get anymore, and it's called the Taco Latte. And everyone who's had salt and straw knows that they play with flavor and do interesting things. So what are the flavors of this?
Okay, so it's cinnamon ancho chili ice cream.
Spicy.
Studded with toasted brown rice.
I'm wondering if that's a powder.
I don't know.
Little crunchy bits on top.
Little crunchy bits on top. And then I think what everybody's excited about is the sauce packets.
Yeah, those are
are
big.
mango jalapeno and wild berry. I can't read my writing. Cinnamon.
There it is.
Thank you.
And those are going to be in the Taco Bell kind of sauce packets.
So I think that's the fun thing is that kind of collab, because I'm a Taco Bell girl. I love a crisp beef taco. I like to tear off the packets and use them. So that's a memory for me.
This is a bridge too far for me personally, but I love it for everyone else who loves Taco Bell, who loves ice cream. For Rachel, apparently. I
What
love it
about
for you.
just
Thank
the ice
you.
cream though? Because that sounds delicious. The ancho chili.
It's interesting, like cinnamon ice cream isn't my favorite, but I like chocolate with cinnamon, like the Mexican chocolate. So I think that it's going to be good with the mango jalapeno sauce because that makes me think of, when you get, oh my gosh, I just blanked on it, like that red kind of, I should just stop talking because I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's cut, next topic. Chamoy. It makes me think of chamoy, like to have that kind of flavor on
a
there.
very interesting flavor combo.
Which is like the sour and sweet and sticky and red. It's really, really good. So I'm going to be first in line for this.
Okay, and we were talking about Tyler, who started Salt and Straw.
Tyler Malik.
And Tyler Malik, and
from Snohomish.
From Snohomish, a friend of the show.
Yeah.
We love you, Tyler. Come back on with the ice cream. But I will say, people sometimes, I look at a flavor and I think no, and then I try it and I think
yeah.
No matter how outlandish, if they're selling it, it's going to be good.
Well, I don't know if he's told you the worst flavor that he ever came up with.
No.
It was a Dungeness crab flavor, and he said it was so bad that they were making it for a competition, and at the last minute, he's like, "We can't serve this. We got to do something different."
That was not smelling good.
No, I actually doubted him a few times. The Izelle's fried chicken, I'm like, no, and actually it was delicious.
Oh, I didn't get to try that one. Yeah,
so
he's an ice cream genius.
I'm not going to doubt him anymore, except for I would on the Dungeness crab. Okay, so we're all in on that. Taylor Swift's new album, Life of a Showgirl, drops tonight. And I know this because my kids are telling me they're staying up.
Your kids are huge Swifties.
Huge Swifties. Do we have any Swifties here?
Not me.
Not me.
Nope. But I appreciate her, and I love pop music, and I know she's kind of country pop. But this one, I think, is rumored to be very pop forward. Max Martin is the producer. He's a Swedish musical mastermind.
And so you are.
So I'm like, I'm going to be tuning in at 9 o'clock on Spotify to hear it. Oh, yeah, for sure tonight. Yeah.
I like her as a person. I love her politics. I like the way that she's able to use her fame to do good in the world and sway people's opinions. And you know what? I'm happy for other people if they're excited about this. But to me, completely honestly, I don't get it. Like, to me, I don't hear what is so exciting and different about her music that makes everybody kind of like zombie-like.
Like lose their minds.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you lose your mind over if there was going to be an album launch?
Yes, but I mean, I have such kind of indie taste. So my favorite band since my 20s is the Mother Hips. They're out of San Francisco, and I kind of follow them like the Grateful Dead. I have a sticker on my car hoping that somebody up here will stop me and go, I'm a Mother Hips fan too. Has never happened. I've had the sticker for 5 years. So if you're listening, I'm looking into I'm taking down the fourth wall. If you are a Mother Hips fan, come find me in a non-creepy way.
Are they still making music?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
what about you, Gaga?
Gaga, yeah. I mean, I'm just obsessed. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't.
You've seen me lose my mind multiple over the years. Yeah.
I like when people lose their mind like that. I have a brother, and he loses his mind over the Grateful Dead. He follows them as much as he can.
Yeah.
He told me. Not even 3 months ago, I didn't even know this. He goes, Susie, I dance to the Grateful Dead every night before bed.
That is extremely cute.
It's so cute.
That's so cute. What's your band that you go crazy for?
Susie loves music, so.
There isn't really one. I mean, I have some music that I like, but nothing that I go crazy for.
Okay.
I mean, Paul Anka, have my baby, but
Paul Anka is my mom's favorite.
Wow. I've only heard you sing it. I need to hear the real version.
My baby.
I'm a woman in love, and I love what to do and to.
When I used to be on the Ron and Don show in Cairo, we used to sing that on air all the time.
Oh, it's so good. It's the best karaoke song.
Let's move on.
Okay. Taylor Swift was rumored to do the Super Bowl halftime show next year. But this week we found out it's going to be Bad Bunny. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like unqualified for this. I've never heard a Bad Bunny song. But I feel like in general, people want Taylor Swift for this. Right.
Well, we're not going to get her, and that's okay.
Okay.
All right, what about you?
I'm excited to see him perform, and I bet it's going to be a spectacular show. And I know he has a huge fan base in America. Yeah. He's one of the top Spotify streamers, and
great taste in hats.
Yeah, I think he's going to put on an amazing show.
And I was here because I couldn't understand at first why we were this, and I didn't understand it. Right. Why Bad Bunny? But then I've been listening a little bit, and I've been listening to other people, and I learned today that one of the fastest growing fan base for the NFL is the Latin fan base, and
Well, and
So
for-
this makes sense.
If they were going to pick a male performer, he would have been one of my top 3 guesses. I mean,
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. for
Does
sure.
he have a smoothie at Erewhon? And how much does
he
it cost?
will.
He probably could soon. I
He
mean,
probably, will
right.
soon. Okay, the Seattle Times put out their fall bucket list,
Yep.
and producer Joseph, you're trying to have an intentional fall.
I am trying to do all the fall things on purpose.
I
Yep.
love
Okay.
this. You're going to have a little Gilmore Girls life.
I hope, hopefully. I
Yeah.
mean, I need to go to the pumpkin patch. I need to go
Yep.
to a Kraken game. I need to make a cake, a pie.
Oh, a cake.
Or
oh,
cake.
pie.
What about a pie cake? Remember that?
I could do that.
Yeah.
Or a turducken.
Yeah.
That's another.
You
I
know,
could talk
about
I'm trying to do that with
turduckens
my
all
friends,
week.
like get us
Okay.
all motivated to like intentionally do all the things.
My
I like
friend,
that.
so I do this every season. I'm just someone who likes to do a lot of seasonal things and make a lot of plans. And last year, my best friend and I had a party. We're repeating this year called Live, Leaf, Love. And we're bringing in every cliche of like every,
Fall
pumpkin
thing.
patch, Starbucks,
Right.
Ugg boots. So you have to dress for this party. We have the Grateful Ugg where you put your best,
intentions
what you're grateful into the Ugg. And
Who's UGG and is it used?
well, you'll have to come and find out.
I want an invite to this party.
It's so fun, and we make our own like special "Live, Laugh, Love" signs, like out on the door. It says "Live, Door, Love." Like,
Okay, Live,
yeah.
Leaf, Love. That will be available at Home Goods.
Wow.
That's
Near
right.
you.
I'm here for
it's
that.
a big home goods party.
Thank you. And thanks for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content, and you can always send us an email to share your thoughts on Diet Coke. Don't forget to enjoy your new day. We'll see you next time.